All right, here we go. Ta-da. So I'm going to back up because I forgot to record. Hold on, let me go back. I wonder if it saved it on this screen. Let's see. Save my writing. Fingers crossed. Drum roll, please.
What's 43 plus 45?
It's 88.
You're unmuted, Caitlin. Nice. So there's that. Pause me at home if you're watching this, if you're watching the recording. And then there's our numbers, just to prove that we don't have any outliers. Life is good. All right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
8 divided by 2.
Kaylin, you're still unmuted. We still love you, though. Here we go. All right, let's do it. Now we can draw our side-by-side box plots. And a lot of times, it's really nice to have them stacked right on top of each other. Okay, because it makes kind of comparing the two so much easier. All right, I've drawn in the middle line for you. And I've scaled out the bottom, okay? All right, prob stat 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Those are our numbers. 2, put a point. 3, put a point. 4, put a point. 5, put a point. 5, again. Okay. So I actually only really have 4 points here because my Q3 and my maximum are the same number, okay? Which means we're not gonna see that whisker extend out to anything. We're actually just gonna end up having a whisker on the left and then a box, right? So we'll go up and down here one. I'll go up and down, I don't know, like, I wanna make sure I leave enough space. So I'm just gonna go up and down 2 boxes here. Up and down 2, up and down 2. Up and down 2. And yeah, I know, where's my max? There it is at the edge of this box. Okay. Across the top, across the bottom, and then extend out for that whisker. Oh, that one drives me crazy. I gotta go back. I gotta try to stay on the middle. There we go. Straight edge would be nice if I had one. There it is. There is my first box plot. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Up and down 1 for my min. Up and down 1 for my max. No outliers, so no X's or anything like that. Up and down 2 for the box. Up and down 2. Up and down 2. Cross the tops for the box, cross the tops and bottoms for the box. And then whisker it out. Ta-da, amazing, so cool. There they are, 1 blue, 1 red, if you want. Sometimes you can shade them in too if you want to really make them pretty, but we like to try to keep them unshaded so we can tell where the middle is. So what do you think? Like we have 30 numbers. Now, I don't want to look at all those numbers. And we had 30 numbers twice, not once. We had 60 total numbers to look at. I don't want to do that. I want to look at 2 pictures. And so what do you think? Here's the whole point of doing statistics, so I can figure out what's going on in general. And we can figure out kind of where you fell personally. How you answered this question kind of tells you how you compare to everybody else. But let's talk in general. What do you notice either just about the blue, just about the red, or comparing them side by side? Give me something. Talk to me. Any ideas? Because this is kind of our scale, right? That's kind of how we were feeling. So what do you think? Can you make some general observations about us as people and how we felt?
We seem to be feeling good about it.
What do you mean?
We seem to be content Were there basic situation? I'm sorry, I'm stumbling on my words right now. I haven't eaten breakfast and I'm just low on energy.
It's okay. So,
Um,
and tell us what you think. Do you want to compare the two, or are you thinking about just one versus the other?
then well, just one versus the other, really.
Okay. And that's usually what side-by-side box plots are good for.
Yeah. So our blue box is generally a lot happier than, or sorry, a lot more consistently happy than the red box.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
Our feelings about how Prob stat went in general was just better in general than how we kind of felt during that first week across the board. Right? And it's because the whole thing leans this way. Right? And with them stacked right on top of each other that way, for sure. What else do you think? So I'm going to say like Prob stat is better than, greater than in general, right? That's kind of how we felt. Is that, we came back to school, we were still kind of stuck remote, but it wasn't so bad, right? Compared to in general. Anything else that you kind of notice maybe about just one of them or comparing the two? Anybody else? Thanks, Xander. Appreciate that.
Our lowest happiness level is still at the bottom of the average. So we're nowhere near as unhappy as the other people.
So our lowest low was still better than the lowest low here, right?
Yeah.
And cool. Yeah. So kind of comparing not just the whole box, but actually like each individual kind of marking, like where's our lowest, where's our highest. So there were people that felt pretty good, right? In both places. But those of us that maybe didn't feel so great, maybe Prob stat was just a little bit better than things in general. Good. Yeah. What about how like the spread of the data is? Like, do we all feel the same way?
Most.
What do you mean?
I'd say most people would be more on the happier side.
So remember that box plots break up groups into 25% equal spots. Like 25% of people are here, 25% of people are here, 25% of people are here, and 25% of people are here, right? 25, 25, 25, 25. Look at the top 50% of people in Prob stat. They picked a 4 or 5, right? The top 50% of people picked a 4 or 5 out of that, compared to the top 25% of people that picked a 4 or 5 in general, right? Huge difference there, I think. So in general, Prob stat went a lot better. And that's because we have that we don't have that whisker at the end there, for sure. Nice. But we are relatively spread out. There are people that said 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s in general. Okay. And so not just looking at general trends of where do most people decide how they're feeling, but where is everybody at, right? And realizing that we are across the entire spectrum here from 1 to a 5 in general gives us a better understanding that we don't all feel the same way. Okay. We felt a little bit more, like you said, happier in general, better in general, more successful in general, whatever you want to say, with the blue one than we did with the red one. But there was still some spread. There were some 2s, right, and some 3s, okay? And so for me, that tells me that things might have to change, right? Whatever happened in that first week, I didn't connect with everybody. I didn't teach well to everybody. And maybe it was me, maybe it was them, maybe it was a combination of both. But I can look back at this and know that I need to refine some of the things that I'm doing. So as somebody that's, looking at this data and analyzing it, okay, great. Statistics is fine, but on its own doesn't do anything, okay? Analyzing the data, oh, nice. Okay, now I can learn some things. But just analyzing it, what's the point? Okay, if you don't take action, if you don't actually do something to get better, to be stronger, to be more flexible, however I need to be as a teacher for you, obviously some things need to change, and that's okay. But this tells me that. And if I didn't give you this survey, I might not know that, right? Now, I don't know why there's a 2, or why there are some 3s, or why in general there are some 1s. And so that's where the action has to come in. Okay, that's where statistics actually, I think, is most important. Okay, knowing that we have a homeless population of veterans that's too big, okay, great. I didn't know that. I did some statistics, now I know that. I've analyzed the data and those numbers are too big. Okay, but what do we do about that? Right? You know what I mean? And I just picked a topic off the top of my head, but something that I know that as a country, we are failing a group of people that we should really be picking up, right? There's lots and lots and lots of those groups of people, but that's what statistics can help us do. It can help us analyze numbers, help us kind of find problems. But if we don't do something with it, there's no point, right? And that's what I want you to start being able to do now that we can collect data, organize it, look at it. I know this stuff hasn't been super interesting at this point, and I apologize for that, but I have to give you this so that we can keep going and we can answer those kind of more interesting questions. And I want to study the kind of data you care about. All right, what is it that you're passionate about? What are the kind of problems you want to fix? What are the kind of things that you want to know about? What are your hobbies? What are your interests? What are your career goals? Right? I can help you. We can look at statistics, help analyze that. We can find, if you want to start your own business, well, you have to find a gap in the marketplace to fill if you want to start a business to be successful. I can't make another Amazon. That spot has already been filled. I have to find a different problem and I have to fix it. Right? That's what businesses, I think, are good for. Right? Finding holes in society and trying to fix those problems by giving people a product or a service that they didn't have yet. Okay, so if maybe you want to be, if you're a budding entrepreneur, that's a good place to start. Right? Look for a problem and then analyze some data and figure out ways to fix it. Cool. All right, so I'm going to get off my soapbox now, and I'm going to let you try the next one, if you haven't already while I was talking. Okay, try that second one. Don't leave until you have it submitted. I want to make sure that if you do end up having questions that I can help you work through it, but I want to just give you the time to try it out. Okay, so that time is yours. Knock that out real quick if you haven't done that yet. Submit that to Canvas. When you are done, just let me know that you are headed out, that you are all submitted, and I will catch you tomorrow. Back to our regularly scheduled programming for tomorrow, back to 9:30 start time, right? Instead of 9:20. Cool. So stick around, knock it out, and give me a shout when you are headed out. Look at my laptop, I'm dying. A lot less data here in this one. So you'll want to just kind of chop the ends off to find your medians and your Q1s and your Q3s. Because your first row are females, second row are males. And this is true. This is actual data. Okay, male and female actors who've won the Oscar, Best Actor. Okay, 12 years in a row. Oh, it makes me think of Schitt's Creek. Does anybody watch Schitt's Creek yet? It's really good. I asked Moira what her favorite season is. She says awards. Good show if you haven't binged it yet.
I'm done, Rosie.
Yay, how'd it go? All good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Just
It
Or
was
you-
like,
Is it okay? Okay, good. All right, awesome. Thanks, Kaylin. See you tomorrow.
bye.
Bye.
I'm done, Rosie.
Awesome. Thanks, Maddie. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.
I'm done too.
You all set? How'd it go? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Em. See you tomorrow.
I'm done, Rosie.
Okay, bye, Sid. See you tomorrow.
Bye. Thank you.
Welcome.
See you, Rosie.
Later, Pete.
Later, Rosie.
You all good, Trey? All right, see you, bud. And let me know if you guys have any questions. Happy to help.
You help me with Q1
Sure.
female.
Bye, Rosie.
Bye. See ya. All right, so Q1. So I got to find the median first. So, because it depends on if we have a median there or not. Okay, so we end up having those two kind of stuck in the middle, right? Because we have an even number, so there really is no middle. So my median is the average, oh, yeah, female, 32 and a half, yeah. And so to find Q1, since I didn't actually use 32 as my median, when I cross off 25, I also cross off the 32. If that was my median, then I wouldn't do that. But because it's like I had to average the two, I'm still like, my median is here somewhere. So I got to kind of split the difference.
I'm all done, Rosie. See ya.
See ya. One of those, one of those.
Bye,
one of those,
Rosie.
one of those.
Thank you.
Later, you're welcome.
Thanks, Rosie.
Yeah, see ya. And then, so because I've got like 6 numbers down here, right? So 6 numbers up here, 6 numbers down there. Again, an even number means I don't really have a middle. So I got the 28 and the 29. I got to find the average of those two, just kind of halfway between. So 28 and a half. All right, minimum 25 for sure. Maximum, what is that, 61? 61. And then I'll just do the same thing for Q3, this one, and this one, this one, and this one. And then I just have to average those 35s. Well, they're both 35, so split the difference, they're just the same.
Bye, Rosie.
Bye, have a good day, thanks.
Okay, I got my data for both female and the male.
Awesome.
Now it's time to move on for the lower boundaries. And,
Okay. So remember, in order to do that, we have to figure out what the interquartile range is for both. Maybe like off on the side, like right here. Maybe I'll say, all right, what is my IQR for both of these? So I just subtract the quartiles. So like 35 minus 28.5, whatever that is. And then I do the same using this minus that for the males. So what is that? Like 47.5 minus
6.5.
Yeah. Okay, so 6.5.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got your interquartile range for the first one is 6.5. And then we do the same thing for the males, because you might have an outlier for one, but not for the other, because it's different data.
And that would be 37.5 minus 37.5. 10.
Cool. Because now I got to kind of do upper and lower boundaries for both of them to figure out, does the first set have any outliers? Okay, cool. Does the second set have any outliers?
Okay.
And so we do the process separately, right? So the lower boundary one, Q1 minus that 1.5 times the IQR. Upper boundary, Q3 plus. So maybe just gonna write that down just so we have a little memory. Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. But we're gonna do them separately, right? I'm gonna do one for the females and I'll do one for the males. So for the females, there's my Q1. So 28.5 minus 1.5 times 6.5.
Okay.
Middle of the calculator, do all that.
Yeah, 27. 6.5. I got 1875.
Okay, 1875. Now, so the question is, do we have any ages less than that for females?
No.
No, because our lowest one was 25. So we do not have any lower outliers for females.
Okay.
Let's do the same thing with the males. So Q1, so 37.5 minus 1.5 times 10.
Okay. I got 22.5.
Okay. Do we have any male actors that are younger than that on our list?
No.
So we're good.
I'm done, Rosie.
No. All right, cool. See ya. Bye, Kyle. So no outliers for either room. Cool. Nice. So our new minimums, no, we're good. Our minimums are exactly what they were right here and here. I feel really good about using those. Same thing up top. Now I just use Q3 plus. So I got to do it for females, we do it for males. Okay, so Q3, so 35 plus 1.5 times 6.5.
$6.5. I got 44.75.
Okay. Do we have any male actors whose ages are bigger than that?
Yes.
We do, right? So we've got two outliers up here. The person that was 45 and the person that was 61. So any upper outliers? So for females, yes, 45 and 61. When we draw that box plot, we'll have X's at those two spots, or asterisks, or whatever you want to draw. Let's do it again for males. So Q3, 47.5 plus 1.5 times 10, right? Because that was the IQR for the males.
Yep. I got 62.5.
62, okay. do we have any male actors who are older than 62?
No.
So we're good. So for males, so I'll just get each other. So for males, yeah, we do not have any outliers. So my new maximum value for my females is the next one down. It's actually going to be that 35, which is crazy. 35, so young to be the best actors. There we go. There's all of our data. And so the only one that's going to have the outliers are going to be the females. And so when I keep track of all this, like nothing changes about the female minimum, the Q1, the median, the Q3. It's only that number right there that's not our maximum anymore. So when I draw that little vertical line for my maximum, I'm not going to draw it at 61 because I'm going to put an X right there and an X right there for 45 and for 61. My new maximum is going to be right there at 35. And so just like our first box plot on the last problem, Q3 and my maximum are the same. And that's okay. That just means I don't draw out that last whisker because it tells me that so much of the data is up towards the top there. And if you look at these numbers, it kind of makes sense. 33, 33, 35, 35, there's a bunch of numbers all kind of in that same spot. And then they got really big, really fast, 45, 61.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, let's see if I can put these points down and get this turned in.
Sounds good.
How's your day going so far, Rosie?
Pretty good, pretty good.
That's good to hear.
Trying to, trying to get caught up on some stuff, knock some things out, trying to make the rest of my week a little easier.
Yeah.
Kind of back off on some of my classes tomorrow and Friday, give you guys a little bit of a break. We just got one thing left to do tomorrow, but yeah, not bad. I mean, we got more and more teachers showing up to school.
That's good.
To teach rather than teaching from home. So it's nice to just have some people in the building, man. It's,
Yeah, but you feel lonely.
it's been like out of the 9 or 11 math teachers, up until this week, it's really just been like 3 of us that have been showing up every day. Everybody else can teach from home. For me, my internet's kind of lousy, and I don't have whiteboards and projectors and stuff, so it's not easier for me to come to school. But yeah, like I opened the fridge in the math department office and it was full of food. And it was, oh, nice, man. It's like people brought their lunch today. So it's kind of cool to see some people and, ran into some teachers I hadn't seen in a while because, like, I eat lunch in my room and just teach out of here and then I leave. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
I'm off 8th period, so I've been going to the weight room and working out a little bit. So that's been good.
Nice.
Baseball started up, so we've been practicing 3 days a week. There's an indoor spot in Castle Rock that just opened up that we rent out. So baseball is really you got to prep in January and February to be ready for March, April, and May. So just grinding, man, just grinding. It's good. How about you? Everything all right?
Yep, just wanting to graduate.
You're almost there, man. You're almost there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, get those grades up,
And boy,
get my GPA going.
that's what I like to hear.
All right, so you said Q3 is the same for the females.
Yep.
So they won't have a whisker, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that little one at the end. Here, let's do it. Let's do it. I'll do it with you.
Yeah, because I got the points down. I just don't know how to format it really.
All right, so read me the female. What's the minimum for females?
25.
Okay, so there's 20, there's 30, so like halfway in between. So 20, 22, 24, 26. All right, so they're like 25 is like right there. Okay.
Q1 28.5,
So like in the middle of this box somewhere. Okay.
32.5,
Okay, so like just past 32.
35,
Yeah.
and 61.
Now, so the 61, remember the 45 and the 61, those numbers were bigger than the boundary that we figured out for the females, right? When we did that upper boundary, we found that I forget what it was, but like we found that the upper boundary was like 44 point something, right? Or 43 point something.
Yeah.
So that 45 spot is an outlier. So I put an X there.
Okay.
61, that's an outlier, so I put an X there instead. Remember, our new maximum, when we do these modified box plots, is like that next number down from that 45, because that was just too big compared to everybody else. So remember, we figured out that next number down just also happened to be 35 again.
Oh yeah.
Like the Q3 and my new maximum for females happened to just be at the same spot, just like it was for the Prob stat Q3 and max. They're both 5s. All right, so when I draw this out, okay, I'll go up and down one box here, up and down 2 boxes, up and down 2 boxes, up and down 2 boxes. But there's no space for me to draw that last whisker because my Q3 and my max are the same.
Yep.
So it looks like that. And if we don't draw that whisker, we know that Q3 and the max are the same. Like I can look at that and say, oh, there's no number out here with a whisker attached to it. Oh, it must be the same then. It's got to be kind of hidden in there.
Okay.
Do that. I mean, look how far away the numbers are, right? Super.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that those were outliers.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Right there.
Crazy, right? I know. It's if you know how to like analyze this stuff, like you can take thousands of numbers and look at them like this and be like, oh, I know so much about how, like, are they close together? Are they super far apart? Are there numbers that kind of stand out as being really too big or really too small? No matter what kind of numbers you're looking at, right? If it's ages or grades or heights or, scoring champions. I mean, look at like Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game or Kobe's 80-point game. And like, if you look at how that compares to everybody else, crazy, like how far above everybody else those kind of players are. Or like Cal Ripken's consecutive game records in baseball. Joe DiMaggio's hit record, 56 games.
Oof, yeah.
Crazy stuff like that. If you looked at all of the numbers, like look at everybody's best streak, and then like Joey D, like way out there. It's crazy.
Uh-huh.
And then males should be a little bit easier because you just got the 5 numbers.
Yeah,
So
because we don't have any repeating.
no repetition and no outliers.
So it should just be like an easy.
Regular box.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Thank you, Rosie.
You got it, Jay. Anytime, brother.
Yes,
I'll see you
sir.
tomorrow.